Hello, my mimics, and welcome back to the Mimic Commentary, episode 57. Last episode, very big one. We did a lot of Knight of Black Knives stuff. We learned a lot about this whole conspiracy. Roger wants us to go find Ronnie the Witch. He wants to get that curse mark. D, not a big fan of those who live in death. Big Golden Order fundamentalist guy. Corin wants his Erdtree books. Fia, she's a little sneaky sis. Not really trusting what she's up to. We are going to go do the Mausoleum grounds. Before we do, I think I want to upgrade some stuff. I'm not... Oh, also, I'm wearing the pumpkin head because they do... the pumpkin head reduces damage from headshots and impacts. And since they have what do you call it? Like they're really like they use a lot of arrows and stuff over there. I was thinking, you know what? Let's protect our head. I thought that would be funny. I don't know if we're actually gonna need an ash there, but we'll use the ancestral follower if we do. And yada yada. I also want to upgrade. Oh, I can upgrade this to +9. Ooh, we're not really a dex build. I mean, everything's kind of flat. It doesn't really matter, I guess. What if I moved it to quality? Oh, I could still upgrade it higher. I like Roger's rapier. I'm having fun using it. This also needs regular smithing stones. Maybe I'll upgrade that too. All right, that's enough. So, can I? No, I don't want to use my runes. All right, let's do it. Before we go to the Mausoleum grounds, I gotta see how does math. I'm not very good at math, so I gotta think. Is it better to stay standard or quality? So for 141, 47, 188, and quality 186, this is better. And we're staying the same. All right, cool. All right, and it's nighttime, so fingers crossed. I hope something happens when we go to the Church of Vows. All right. Came to the Church of Vows. It is nighttime, and is Muriel here? Uh-oh. Where is Muriel? Wait, what do I have my flask as? Boost strength and charge attack power. We don't want that. I don't think that's going to be good for what we're doing here. I guess faith, that could be good. And boost... I guess it's quality, so that still does count. Okay, we'll do that. Ay. All right, let's see if I get... I don't want to get my socks rocked. And is this... Oh, this is parry. He is parryable. But... All right, you guys know who's showing up here, right? All right. Oh, no. The bell-bearing hunter. The spirit came from the mists. Oh, goodness gracious. No, don't miss the riposte. Oh, gosh. Oh, please. I don't want to lose my rune arc. You. Oh, jeez. No. Please. No. Sorry, this is intense and scary. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, no. Oh, thank goodness I have a shield. I just like it. And my freaking dumb looking character. Jeez Louise. No. Okay, we're not dead yet. I gotta keep the shield. I can't black flame. We only have one flask left. Come on. Whew. No, my rune arc. Oh, I should have been more aggressive. All right, well, the bell-bearing hunter's here, and he ate my rune arc. All is lost. That was sad. All right, so this is supposed to be a commentary that is playing over my successful fight against the bell-bearing hunter. After he ate my rune arc, I've been trying over and over again just to beat him, because I am stubborn and I don't want to come back later and do it. I want it to be successful now. I mean, I already lost the rune arc. He is such a good like repeat boss for just showing up throughout the world. This is the second time we see him, and I think in total he has four total invasions plus the confrontation with him. What makes him so interesting, and we talked about this the last time we fought him, is that he's a phantom. That like he comes through like the black mist, as if he's invading the world of our player, and he's hunting the bell bearings. Bell bearings come from merchants. If we were to kill one of the merchants, we'll get their bell bearing. Now, we haven't done that yet. We will get merchants' bell bearings in the future. But, you know, there's already the pattern. He just shows up where merchants are to get their bell bearings. And, you know, we know that that music is tied to spirit calling. You know, so far we've seen our spirit calling bell summon spirits, our the what do you call it? The wandering mausoleum in the Weeping Peninsula that summons the ghosts, and also it looks like they're trying to get the soulless demigods, maybe summon a soul to the soulless demigods. The ancestral followers down in Shifa River, they were all ghosts, and they were around a lot of grave. Glovelord, please don't. Oh, okay. Sorry. So, you know, he's hunting. Oh, maybe I could. The fact that he's hunting bell bearings indicates that what he needs, and he's a phantom himself, like what he needs them for is tied to some spiritual art, I would believe, you know? So learning who he is, and like if he's working for someone or if he's independent, like being able to look at more of his armor completely. Now he is going to be, whoever he is tied to is going to be someone of great interest, you know, that we are going to want to investigate heavily. And when he dies, he turns into that like black mist. You know, my goal was to just overlay, hey, the meat peddler's bell bearing. Oh, sweet, turtleneck meat. That's awesome, because we need turtleneck meat to make pickled turtlenecks. Because I can make a lot of them, but we need the bell bearing. So let's go drop that off, and then we will go do the Wandering Mausoleum grounds. You know, my goal was to talk about that and put it over the winning, like in post, like the winning fight. But I did it. I tried. I fought him a lot, and I did a lot of different builds. But you know, we always have to come back to Old Faithful. All right, meat peddler. So this guy killed a meat peddler. Maybe I should buy a rune arc too. Oh, these are expensive. Holy moly, 1,200 a pop? Wow. These are really expensive for low gain. Like, that's really expensive. I don't want to use, you know what? I'll buy one rune arc, but I'm not going to use it. Just so we have it. Just in case, like, you know, turns out we want to use it. Yeah, it's just the bell bearing hunter. He's building up to something very interesting, very cool. If you watched, you know, Mikkel's master plan, I do bell bearing stuff, the bell bearing hunter stuff. Let's do our pumpkinhead build. Like I said, I was going to. You know, I always got to whip out the claymore when I'm in trouble. You know, Old Faithful. Old Faithful. What armor? All right. The Pumpkinhead's going to see the Mausoleum grounds, and that is just go down and to the left. I've been, you know, I mentioned in a few, like multiple videos for the past few weeks, like multiple commentary videos about like scripts I'm trying to write, and I gotta say, I have written so much stuff, and I can't get a video out. I'm having, this is like I guess it's like a good problem to have. I'm gonna be honest. I think I know too much about this game. I can't write a concise video. I've been trying to write something that is like 10 minutes long or whatever, and I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Like I try so hard, and I just write too much stuff. It's really frustrating. Oh, jeez. Like if you from the video that from the episode that we did a few ones ago about you know, doing the Dark Souls stuff, I thought I could do a nice easy 12-minute video for like Night Rain and the George R. R. Martin quote, and I just can't. It ballooned into like 7,000 words, and I was like, I gotta stop. Oh, see, there we go. There's the frickin' arrow guy. Where is he? Oh, he's hiding in the trees, right? Yeah, oh, that's smart. That's a really interesting gameplay design. Woo! Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's really interesting. And then he gains life. He's must have some talisman on him. Yeah, I've been having so much trouble getting videos out, because I write so much stuff, and then I also get like a bunch of like, I can't help but involve like trauma stuff. I don't know. Like I'll give you an example. So the Night Rain video, I put in like so much work into like showing that there is a connection, like George R. R. Martin's writing is influencing Elden Ring. I do a lot of comparisons to A Song of Ice and Fire, specifically Bran and Mikula. Then I do a lot of Thousand Worlds stuff. I also do a lot of Dark Souls connections. And then I start doing like Velka and Moonlight Sword theorizing. And it just got like too big. And I was like, this was just supposed to be a video about how understanding, you know, the like George R. R. Martin's quote and then how the Elden Ring works explains why Night Rain exists. Like that should be so easy to write. Like I feel like when I see some other channels, like there's a few channels who have their specific like gimmick or focus. Some channels, here's our arrow guy. Some channels, is it worth going down this way? No, that guy's gonna shoot me. Some channels, you know, like the gimmick, or maybe it's not a gimmick, but just like their framing is like, you know, you pick a topic and you explain all about that topic. Like I think like Smotown will do an hour-long video about everything we know about the horn scent. And that's, you know, it's a long video, and it covers a lot of stuff. But like, even just doing an hour on just the horn scent doesn't really satisfy like what I would want to talk about, which would be how the horn scent interconnects with everything else. God, this one frickin', is it two guys? Do I have any bow and arrow? Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need to distance them too. But I haven't really been upgrading my arrows. Alright. We're just gonna have to push through. You know, it doesn't satisfy me because if I was gonna write about the horn scent... Sorry, this is like not mimic commentary stuff talking about what we're looking at here. It's just me griping about my own troubles. Is like I would want to talk about like how how they influence the rest of the story, like how they impact like literally everything else, like how they touch on everyone else's stories, and then you'd have to talk about it, you know, like how the Horn Scent impact Godfrey and Radon and things like that, and Mikola. And then it would just be explaining all of Elden Ring. Like, I can't help but, like, when I want to talk about a topic, I have to talk about everything else because everything is interconnected in these games. Like this right here, like, you know. Oh, for Raymond. Let's put that on. Raymond's fashioned from a bristly pelt. The ancestral followers keep their distance from the Erdtree, awaiting new buds. They are starting to sprout from their flesh and indeed their souls. Is that the same as this one? Yeah. Okay. Let's look like an ancestral follower. I don't know. It just feels very challenging for me to get videos out, and I don't know if I should feel bad about this. Oh, we can actually see this really up close now. Omogo Mundi. And can we see what he's actually gripping in his hands better too? Not really. Or like, yeah, this stuff, you know, Tarnished Archaeologist, he will go into all the real world connections here, like all the real world history that influences like structures like this. And that's really all well and good. And, you know, all these guys make really good videos, but they don't feel like it connects to the larger whole of the story. Like, I don't know, we could, like the stuff with like prophecy and things like that, and the oracles that we found underground, like there I don't see anyone talking about how that impacts the rest of the story. Like, if you have an underground civilization that knew the future, then how would that impact everything else, you know? So that's stuff I want to talk about, but every time I try to write a script, I just get roadblocked. I get stuck. And it's very frustrating. It's very challenging. Here's our guy up close. You know, one of the things that I'm thinking here, this is the Ruined Labyrinth, and this is Old Palace Ruins. This looks like it was all built above ground, but we have them below ground too, and they also kind of look like they're sinking into the ground. So, like, one of my questions here about this area, sorry that we're going all over the place, you know, just one thing I'm thinking about maybe doing is perhaps I'm just going to do like the Bale video and just give myself notes and then just like riff. Because I got so much stuff I want to talk about, but I'm having so much trouble just writing something. I'm trying to write that Night Rain video and make it short. But yeah, that's that. So let's do Mimic commentary stuff. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about all my personal gripes of trying to write about this stuff. And like humble bragging, like, oh, I know too much. I do. Hey, I know my stuff. One of the things I'm curious about this spot, I want to hear your opinions on it. Is this somewhere that was originally built above ground and then like it just fallen to ruin over time? If so, what are the implications that the underground has this ancient dynasty below ground, and then also it exists above ground as well, but only here so far? Like, and there's also the Eternal City down there, which is like further, like, which has similar architecture to this. This is like, this is actually our first time seeing a Wandering Mausoleum since the Weeping Peninsula. Very similar architecture to the kind of black stone of the, not the Blackstone civilization, but the black stone of the futuristic Eternal City that we saw. What are the implications that these are in the same spot? What are the implications that this is also above ground? One of my theorizing is that, you know, perhaps this place is only here because Liurnia is sinking into a lake, and this stuff is just appearing now. Oh, crap. A Miquela's Lily? Oh, geez, I didn't know there was a Miquela's Lily here. All right, wait. I gotta shut this guy up before we talk about Miquela's Lily. Does this one have... Yes, it also has Ghost Flame. This one is different than the other one. It doesn't have a bell. And that's actually going to have some implications. There's no bell, and there's no spirits in this area. It has Ghost Flame animating it, but there's no spirits in this area because there's no bell. There's no way to summon the spirits. So that kind of ties into what we were talking about, the Bell-Bearing Hunter. And it's also gonna... I can't hit this thing. I can't hit this thing with my rapier. It's also gonna be interesting when we actually go inside and we try and use it. Sorry, Torn. You're getting beat up. I don't have any raisins on my hotbar. Let's give him raisins. Yeah, so part of my... Wait, is that it? I only hit 2? It has a spot for the bell, but it just doesn't have a bell. I think someone also asked... Oh, gosh, there was a while ago. They said, look... I think they said look for eclipse imagery on here or something. We'll look at this in just a second. So yeah, my question is, was this built here first? And what do you call it? My question is, was the palace ruins built on the above ground, or is this below ground, and because the ground is sinking, like Liurnia is sinking, did this stuff emerge? Because like Liurnia is sinking, we have these like unnatural rock formations like jutting out. Like this makes me think like this is how far down it's sunk. Like the land has fallen apart this much. I don't really think that these ruins were here until like the ground started falling apart, and I think that would occur after the shattering. You know, we're not seeing much indication of scholarly presence, mostly a tribal presence. But it's hard to say. I'm really not sure. I kind of like the sinking theory because look, like I mean these pillars are above, but like he's under the ground here, like his legs are under. Either he's sinking or like the ground is falling beneath. I really can't say for certain, but that's how I feel about it. We found a Miquela's Lily here. Crazy. Like, and especially how this is framed. Look at this. Framed right over here, straight to him. Now, this could have major implications of maybe where Miquela is. Let's look at our Miquela's Lily. Delicate water lily of unalloyed gold that has started to fade and wilt. Flower signifying faith in the Erdtree, thought to be beloved by the Empyrean Miquela in his youth. So faith in the Erdtree put right here. You know, we also found the... what do you call it? This golden centipedes found around this guy. That was tied to Ratigan's statue down in Shifra. In Shifra, I guess here's an interesting duality. In Shifra, we found Trina lilies, but no Miquela's lilies. Here, let's see if we find any Trina lilies. I'm going to assume no Trina lilies. I'm going to assume that we're only going to find Miquela's lilies here. And then the connection between, you know, Weeping Peninsula had a wandering mausoleum with a bell summoning spirits, and now we have a wandering mausoleum, actually 2 wandering mausoleums, up in Liurnia. We also, this is the first time seeing them since we've been to Shifra, and we kind of saw that this kind of looks like that futuristic city a bit. Kind of looks like that futuristic city that we saw above the ancient dynasty. And we were actually tying that to eternal culture. This kind of looks like lilies. And we were saying maybe they are like a Saint Trina worshippers or like something like that. These spires kind of look like similar on the churches found in the church found in Stormvale. Those look like sunflowers. Those look like lilies. Lots of floral ornamentation. Anything up there? Yeah, a lot of flower stuff. But we know that the Eternals are tied to flower worship. But also, it's very dark. This is a very dark looking stone. Very unique. Our Hoodigan statues. Different chests. Now we can tell, like, the chest denoting ownership and era. These chests are different than the Erdtree and Beast and Surcoat. Or the Beast and the Erdtree, not Surcoat. Beast and the Erdtree chest. So we can tie this to a different era. And then we find this statue. It's interesting that these are so low poly compared to other places. Our prophetic power saying this is Ratigan. We found the statue, Church of Vows. We also found that statue of that hooded woman who is amongst similar architecture in Shifra on the dam. So, these hooded man statues, what we're saying is Ratigan, found at the Church of Vows next to a similar statue that is also found down below. This one, unlike... Yeah, see, we can't duplicate any remembrance from this one. Because this... Actually, you know what? No, I can't. I'll show it later, I think. So this can't duplicate Godric's remembrance. Even though we don't have it on us right now, we should still be able to duplicate his remembrance. But we can't. Because this one cannot duplicate... If it doesn't have a bell, it can't duplicate the remembrances of demigods. In the Weeping Peninsula, the ghost says, "O Queen America," or the mausoleum prowls, cradling the soulless demigod. "O Queen America, he is your unwanted child." And that one doesn't have that line. So if we're thinking like mimicry, we're doing some mimic stuff. Oh, there's Trina Lilies. I was wrong. If we're thinking like mimicry, like which one is the real one and which one is the fake? Like there's two types of wandering mausoleums. Is it the one with the bell or the one without the bell? That's something I would like to think about. I can't... I don't know which to say is the original, or if they're just two different kinds. And here's our Trina Lily. When we find Trina Lilies, just like Mikkola's lilies, we want to look and listen. Well, the ancestral followers were gathering it. They were drawn more to the Trina Lily than to the Mikkola Lily. Maybe is that... if we think... The Trina Lily is also, it seems, more tied with spirituality. If we look at it, it has that glow to it, that misty spiritual glow, kind of similar, kind of gives me the Black Knife print vibe. Gives me kind of the Grave Violet vibe. Gives me a vibe of like the Ghost Gloveworts, which we saw all over the underground. Oh, hey now. If I go down there, am I gonna get stuck down there? Can I get back up? I want to go see what that guy is in the chair. I don't think I've ever really explored this area before. Well, we have a grace that we can grab. What do I hear too? Oh, there's a sleeping bear. Is that a rune bear? Yeah, it's a rune bear. All right. Oh, jeez. Oh, I still have, like, my bad, talismans on. Man, this room bear's tough. Oh, we can hear... we can hear the other wandering mausoleum, one with the bell. Alright. Killed him in one hit. Man, my raiments are bloody. Alright. So what does this guy have and what is he looking at? So he's kind of facing towards the academy, but not quite. And he has an Arteria leaf. Are you munching on an Arteria leaf? What does that tell us?
Talking from my MacBook microphone and not my real microphone. Someone told me, this was from Scummage Infa's Discord, MetaFoR was doing theorizing that they think Arteria leaves are related to Ratigan. So I got to remember going forward, think of Ratigan and Arteria leaves. Now I'm not sure if I'm convinced on the connection, but I like it. I like it. So the guy in the chair representing Ratigan near the wandering mausoleums, looking towards the academy. Near the Ul Palace ruins, we found the centipedes down below. Okay, interesting stuff. Interesting things to think about. We'll move forward. I got to remember, Arteria leaves, maybe Ratigan. While I'm bringing this up retroactively, there were Arteria leaves near a troll in Limgrave. There's Arteria leaves by bats are eating them. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. You guys tell me what you think. All right, back to the video.
I'm going to have to get back up there. If not, we'll teleport. But let's look what's around here. Is this what St. Trina wanted us to find? That guy had an Arteria leaf? It's blood red leaves. I don't know. I don't know if I can make heads or tails of that. And then here we go. We have a wandering mausoleum all the way down there at the bottom of the lake. Different view of the academy. Can we see if there's ghosts? Yeah, there we go. We could see the headless ghosts. There's one of the knights. Yeah. Separate. It's like, which one is real? And then, oh, you know what? Inside of... Ooh, maybe this is it. Inside of the... inside of the mausoleums without the bell, that can't be used to duplicate the remembrances... Oh, he's friends with the wolves. That can't be used to duplicate the remembrances of demigods. The body is dark. It's kind of black. And the one inside the ones with the bells is white, kind of silver. Maybe the ones with the bells are the mimics? And maybe they're trying to put souls into silver tears? I don't know. You know, creatures of mimicry, they can look like people, and they could turn into bears. Maybe that's what they're doing? The soulless demigods? So they made... Is that what it is? Like we don't know how a demigod can be soulless. I guess I went the right way. We don't know how a demigod can become soulless. Maybe they become soulless because they don't have a soul to begin with. You know, like the one, like these ones, maybe these ones are the legit ones. Maybe that's why you can't duplicate the remembrance of a demigod in them? I don't know. Oh, there's two ways to get up here. I'm trying to think. This is like half prophesizing, half theorizing. Where are we at? Where's this place called? Mausoleum Compound. This is the compound. Welcome to the compound there, ladies and gentlemen. If I was like a frat bro podcaster. Yeah, maybe that's it. Ay. Maybe that's it. They can't summon the bell. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think this through. The bodies in this are kind of dark. They're kind of black. They're kind of brown. The other ones are kind of white. If they're lighter in color, perhaps that indicates mimicry. If they are mimics, the ones with the bells, then, and it's the soulless demigods, maybe they're mimics of demigods with the express purpose of getting a soul into the mimic body. You know what I'm saying? Like, they mimic a demigod, or they mimic a something for a demigod, so their soul can be reborn into that body. Because it is larval tears, silver tears, to birth people anew. They're for rebirth. So maybe that's how they're done here. Like, but they're dead. It's a mausoleum. Slumbering demigods. They're sleeping. Right? What does it say? Soulless demigods slumber. They have no souls and they're sleeping. To be awakened. Oh. To be awake. Okay. The bell could be used to wake them up. Bring their spirits, wake them up. Okay, the awakening thing is sleeping. The sleeping and the waking. Okay, there is items later in the game that we can find that will tie to this. All right. These guys are doing this rhythmic dance, and when we were in Schiefer, we saw the ghosts doing that to various different things. One was to that mausoleum across the way. Another was towards perhaps the Dragonkin soldiers. We theorized that maybe that is what they were praying to. So what are they praying to here? We also see up there is the yellow banner on that castle wall, very Sunrealm style castle wall, and the yellow flame is a symbol of affliction, serving warning those might approach the village. So this place, we saw frenzy was spreading through Liurnia, the purified ruins. It also seems to be up here as well. And just by looking at the map, we could tell this is a village, castle walls, wizard tower over here, stone coffin graveyard, and a church. So let's see what this guy's praying to. This, to a minor Erdtree with Erdtree avatar. And we get some magic dung beetle. Somebody had a magic poo over here. All right, let's see. Because if I remember correctly, budding horns and such. Okay, so we don't have an opinion on what they feel about Erdtrees yet. But this is going to be interesting. We're going to have to put this in our memory bank for later. Also, it seems like the ancestral followers, I'm going to assume, came here after the pots were here. So you have the minor Erdtree. Then people bring the pots. Then the Elden Ring. Do we know anything about these guys yet? No, we don't know when these guys show up. We don't know how long the Erdtree avatars have been here. But I'm thinking it's pots, Erdtree avatar, ancestral followers follow after. I think the ancestral followers are here because of the Erdtree avatar. I don't think they're worshiping the minor Erdtree. I think they're worshiping the avatar because that's pretty magical. And we can also see, we do our comparison. Look at the gold of the minor Erdtree compared to the gold of the Erdtree. The leaves are similar color, I think. But also, the big thing is that, this is firmly a very real tree with gold leaves. This is just all gold, and it makes me suspicious that that might be illusory. Let's bring out our own ancestral follower. Say hi to your friends. And let's try and get rid of these guys before we fight the avatar. Oh, he saved me. All right. That took longer than it needed to. Let's see what type of tears we get from this. Second Erdtree avatar. Not very different from the first. Very weak to fire. I think it's also weak to frost, too. Let's find out. Did that frostbite him? Yeah, there you go. Frostbite. Nice. Thank you, buddy. Is he going to get the health for killing it? Yeah, he does. He got the killing blow. He gets the health for it. Excellent. All right. Oh, a lot of shrouding cracked tears. I don't know if I don't remember. I think I talked about this in an episode, but I made like where is this? I made like a comment like these remind me of they remind me of the blood gems from Bloodborne, which is another one of those like connections. Like, are these crystallized blood gems from Bloodborne? I don't know. That'd be interesting. But we got magic shrouding cracked here, lightning, and holy. Wow. Why are these together? Are they indicating that these are supposed to be similar in some way? Holy is always that glowing halo, obviously the lightning, and magic. And it's interesting, the Erdtree's crystals, the crystals from the Erdtree could embody all of this stuff. Like, that's interesting too. Crimson crystal tear, that makes sense. We have the flask of crimson tears, crimson burst. That makes sense. It's a burst of crimson. Green spill. We've seen already about the turtle talisman and the green amber. What is it? What medallion is it? It's the Viridian amber medallion. That makes sense. Now these ones are interesting. That the Erdtree the strength knot and faith knot. That the Erdtree can increase your strength and faith. Well, I guess runes can just increase that. So I guess maybe that's what's going on here. But this one, like this one's interesting too. Like, what's going on here? Opaline bubble tier. It's in a bubble. But these are really interesting. These four. The spiked one. That one I don't really get. But this one that the Erdtree has this. It's so malleable that its tears can manifest in that way. Those sunflowers are pointing towards the Erdtree, and there's other sunflowers over here. Where are they pointing towards? Also the Erdtree. Interesting that the sunflowers grow around the minor Erdtree, yet don't point towards the minor Erdtree. They always point to the Erdtree. And they're sunflowers. So this kind of like, we talked about the sun realm stuff. This ties into the sun has firmly been supplanted by the Erdtree because sunflowers are supposed to point towards the sun. Instead, they point towards the Erdtree, and they're not getting enough sunlight, and they're dying. So that's kind of cool, too. That, that symbolism's all there. So that's this episode, everybody. Next time, we, I thought it was supposed to say the old palace ruins here. I thought we were supposed to get pop with that. Just minor Erdtree. Okay, next time we're going to go to the study hall, then the well. Hope you all enjoyed. I think we did some pretty good theorizing. Thinking about what's going on. You know the drill. Let's do the tang.